a new shape, a new meaning, a new aroma. So we are in this kinds of adversity, pandemic, what we call it, and we need to know exactly what we are at these times of adversity. Am I a potato? Am I an egg? Or I want to be a cocoa bean so that I can provide value, I can provide freshness, aroma to people around me, to where I work, to my own self. My name is Mubin Khan. As Humara has already introduced me, I live in Dubai, and I will have my contact details later on available through Humara. So today we want to talk about a simple engagement journey, like what an organization is meant to be, why does it exist, and how project management is important for an organization in any type of landscape, in any type of domain, in any type of environment. Just a second. Okay. I do not profess any of the project management bodies, PMI, Prince2, or IPMA in this session today, but PMI being predominantly very dominant in this region and around the world, it's world's largest organization. I take this as an example. If you see the definition of a project is it's a temporary endeavor. Endeavor means you undertake a piece of work and it's temporary, which means it has a start, it has an end, it will start someday, it has to end someday. It not necessarily be very small, very short, very long. It has a meaningful start, meaningful end, and companies and organizations undertake this to create value. The end result is either a unique product, you can see a mobile phone, a service, an airline, hospitality, or a result. It could be a research result, a publication, man landing on the moon, on our project examples. We have seen examples throughout our lifetime of projects, starting with the Great Pyramids, Great Wall of China, Apollo 13, Burj Khalifa, and now today, what we are grappling with, vaccination for the pandemic. This vaccination, the development of vaccination, release of vaccination into the market is nothing but a project. And project management is nothing but application of your knowledge that you gain over a period of time, your skill set, and the tools and techniques which the bodies of knowledge provide you, be it PMI, be it Prince2, be it IPMA. They have different tools and techniques. You apply these tools and techniques to your project activities to meet your project requirements and objectives. Now, projects will not work in silos. They need a platform. A business landscape is the only platform the projects work in. It provides a global overview to the business functions within the company, outside the company. It also has interdependent and hence you are accountable for social, environmental, political challenges that threaten your shared future. Because today we live in a shared environment. We co-create value with customers. No longer are we in those days when we would dictate value to the customer. Today, value is defined by the end user, by the customer. They say what they want. We go back, tailor it to them, iterate a couple of times, whatever number of times the iteration can take place, and ultimately satisfy the end user. So it's a shared future organizations have with their clients, their customers. There are around 80,000 MNCs and 10 times as many subsidiaries, and they have countless small and medium businesses that operate across the globe. And all of these exist for a purpose. All of these exist to fulfill their objectives, to fulfill their goals. And now we have seen in the latest past, technologies, market dynamics giving a totally new shape, new meaning to the business. For example, you have ANRB, you have the different technologies, digital transformation, Uber. Nobody could think that a company who does not own any car can disrupt the entire transformation model around the world. We are seeing this time and again. Technology is a driver, and organizations rely on technology for meeting future needs. And while as we understand the organizational landscape, project management, but we need to know what this is all for. You are either a shareholder or a stakeholder in the environment, in your organization. A shareholder is one who has a stake, a financial stake in an organization. And organization employees, they work around the clock to meet the expectation of shareholders. It might be maximization of value, it might be increased market share, it might be any requirements, it might be any of these organizations' goal put forward. Then you have stakeholders. Stakeholder is anyone, any entity that has an impact on project, either positively or negatively. And also the project having an impact negatively or positively on stakeholders. Stakeholders could be companies, your shareholders, your creditors, investors, government, customers, owners, supply, all of these are stakeholders. An example, one fine morning, we go out of our house to reach our office and we find that there's a construction going on, there's a detour. It adds a lag to my reaching office. It adds 5 or 10 minutes more for me to reach office. Now, this project, which was undertaken by the contractor or any entity, I am a stakeholder to their project because I am impacted negatively. Similarly, there could be an engagement which impacts me positively. For example, recreation centers, children's parks. I am not involved in the project. I'm not a key stakeholder. I did not work for that company, but I am impacted positively. So I am a stakeholder. Now, why do organizations exist? Organizations are a group of people working together to create synergy, which will not be possible for individuals to do it alone. There are 3 broadly classified organizations. One is purely for profit. It's a commercial venture whose basic theme and basic objective is to maximize wealth. You would have not-for-profit organizations like charities, clubs, and then you have corporate firms and social enterprises, which are funded by government, run by central or local government, like utilities, hospitals, schools. These are broadly 3 types of organizations. If I am in an organization, irrespective of what kind of organization I am in, I'm in a for-profit, not-for-profit, or I am in that public sector organization, there are 3 distinct layers inside the organization. Now, I have something called a strategic layer, wherein the big bosses, the shareholders, whose money is at stake, and the CXOs, all chief executive officer, chief financial officer, chief marketing officer, and those who provide funding to the organization, they decide what do we need to do. So they create the broader vision, a dream for the company. They create the mission statement for the company. They will tell me what to do, why this organization is existing. And then below that is a tactical layer, which has the senior managers. And those guys will tell me how to do this. They will translate the strategy, the goals of the organization into the next layer. And they would then create portfolios, projects and programs. And then finally, it goes down to the operational layer where we have project managers who do it. So we have strategic layer that defines what an organization does, what is the mission, why is it existing. Then you have the tactical layer who tells me how to do it. Let's take an analogy in a war. The head of the country decides what to do, where to wage war, where to go, which country to enter. Then you have big generals who are tacticians, they're tactical masters. They tell you how to do it, which route to take. Is it an aerial route? Is it land forces, sea forces, ground forces? Then you have the operational layer, the foot soldiers who go and do whatever is required from them. So all of these three layers have to be aligned to the strategic objective of the organization. Why I'm saying this? Because alignment is the key. If you as a person working in whatever capacity inside the organization, you are not aligned to organization's vision, mission, you are a misfit. Your managers should be intelligent enough to tell you exactly what is it that we want from you and why does this organization exist. Now organizations exist because they need to create value for themselves, for shareholders. Today an organization is in current state, it cannot remain there, it will not sustain itself. Over a period of time it has to increase its business value, so it has to take a plunge to the future state, right? It's as is, as we call it, and to be. So I as an organization should know where I am today and where I want to go. What does my vision say, and how do I go there is my strategic planning. That will give me programs, projects, and then projects will have activities. So over a period of time, I am increasing the value of my organization, and I should know where I am today. Also, as an individual today, I need to know where I am today, where do I want to go, and how do I reach there? What are the activities I need to take? It's similar for an organization. Now, what are the factors that lead to project creation? It could be market demand. Market needs a new product. Market required iPhone. iPhone came, knocked off Nokia. Business need. There's a need for business. You need a hybrid or you need an electric car. You no longer want to rely on petrol. It's a business need. A project is created. Customer request. Customer wants some additional features in your phone, in your television, in your white goods, in your kitchen. So you take care of that. You understand what does the customer want. You start a project. Technology forces you in a particular direction. You no longer can live on an old technology. That's also a driver for your project. There could be legal requirements enforced from your country. So then you have to, in order to fulfill those legal requirements, it could be compliance to a standard. For example, we do ISOs, we do other certifications. Those are legal requirements, regulatory requirements. Then there could be an ecological requirement, environmental requirement that you have to meet. Then again, you have to initiate a project. Now, how does a project close? It can close in any of the three forms. The project meets its end by realizing benefits for the client, for the end user, the needs are met, it's closed formally. Or during the process, while we monitor and govern the project, the governance layer, which could be a PMO or project director or the client or the sponsor who shells out money, he says this project no longer meets my requirements, please shell it off. So we close the project. Or the project is dragged too long that the competition has gone way ahead. It will no longer, the project does not need to exist anymore. So projects are curtailed and they're terminated. Now, what is the importance of project management here? We analyze that organizations can survive only if they know where to go from their existing position. And for that, they need some sort of discipline. They need some sort of tools. They need some sort of techniques. It's only the discipline of project management which helps organizations to manage change. Change is the only perpetual order. Change is the only thing which is permanent. The organizations want project management because Only project management can help the organization to retain its strategic alignment. Everyone talks the same language. There's a common vocabulary. There's a common belief. There's a common passion. Leadership. Project managers are, they develop into leaders because they manage the interface between multiple functional areas. Will have will have someone from any functional area reporting to him on a project. And it's only through good project management practices that you realize the realistic project planning. You know how a project has to be planned. You can control quality. You can identify risk. You can anticipate what is coming in future. And then you can orderly provide a process. And while you are managing a project, you are continuously providing oversight. You're continuously seeing that my project, is it still on track? Am I still aligned? If not, I provide corrective actions. And also, it will provide you subject matter expertise on the level. And it manages you to learn from successes and failures. We say in every project management life cycle, whenever we complete a phase or a portion, in layman's language, a one step of project management, we say, what are the lessons learned? What did I learn? What did I do good? What did I do bad? How could this have been avoided? This could be used as a lessons learned repository for an organization or also for future projects. Now, this is an example of a project. It's not that projects are not, it's not inventing gunpowder. It's what you do, it's what I do. Project management provides it a structure. Let's say, for example, publication is a simple project. You plan a request for a project, and there would be somebody, some executive committee or someone sitting together, providing approval. You approve the budget, you plan for the project, then it goes for writing, editing, translation in whatever languages you publish, ship, and deliver to the customer. This is a very simple example of a project. We do more complex things while at work, all of us. Now, what should I do if I'm a project manager? Do I want to become a project manager? Or I am a project manager? This picture depicts the silo nature of a project manager who believes in communicating with people, and you see all of the different kinds of reportings, data coming to him. He works, he's overwhelmed. He cannot survive alone. He needs to collaborate. More than your technical skills, project managers, soft skills are very much needed. You need to be an elevated human being. You need to understand the emotional intelligence of your team, of your suppliers, contractors. You need to be emotionally connected. You need to have greater interpersonal skills because your work is at a bigger stake. Now, this is the ideal way a project manager works. It's collaboration. Like he works with his hand, he murkies his hand. He's fitting a cog in the entire system, which other people helping him. Someone is pushing, someone is pulling it up, someone is dragging. So everyone is working. We no longer exist in a silo environment. We need teams, we need people, and the project manager needs to build a team. He needs to manage a team. He needs to gear them to the common vision. He needs to tell them what exactly we need to do, why this project is all about, why do we survive. And then the project manager every time has to balance between these triple constraints. He has to balance cost, which is the budget, his scope, what he wants, what he needs to do, and time, within what time, and all of these should be balanced within quality. He has to ensure if any of these slip, it will have, because these are interdependent. If cost gets a hit, scope and time will be impacted. Quality, of course. Any of these triple constraints, any of these single components of this triple constraint, if it gets hit, it impacts the other three. So you can imagine a project manager's life, very challenging, very rewarding. And of course, it's the uh, demand of today, it was demand of earlier years, it's also demand for the future. Only the flavor has changed. Earlier, project managers would be working in siloed environments. We had waterfall type of methodology. Now agile has come in. Customers want quick results, incremental results, and we are not going that. We're not treading that path because that will open a different interaction and discussion. Now, it's very important to know that what do I need to do? How do I need to do all of this if I want to be a project manager or if I'm not a project manager? One second, guys. Okay, these pop-ups should come in. Okay, now there was a man there was a man, he was just walking across a wild park. He saw multiple elephants, many elephants tied with very small ropes standing together, and the trainer was at a distance smoking, enjoying his life. This person was very curious to know that why these animals are standing. They can trample the entire grass field and go, and they can leave. Why do they stand there? Out of curiosity, he went and asked this trainer that, Mr. Trainer, how come these mammoths are standing still and they stand there as until what you want them to be there? So this guy laughed and said, look, my dear friend, when they were very small, I tied small ropes around their legs, and it has been since. So they are conditioned. So they are conditioned from childhood to remain like this. So this rope is there for them to make sure to reinforce the conditioning that they cannot move. Same is the case with people who are in comfort zones. There is some sort of conditioning, some sort of inner fear that if I do something, if I take a venture, will I fail? What is it for? At what cost can I do it? So this fear keeps a person in his comfort zone. Now, I have to upskill. Yes, the current pandemic. Imagine the pandemic is over tomorrow and people come scouting for UAE for jobs. You will have so many people applying for the same kind of job, and the people who have not upskilled them in during this time will find very difficult, will find themselves challenged, handicapped. So why do I need to upskill? I want to future-proof my career. I want to learn the tricks of trade for future. Like you have, for example, robotics, artificial intelligence, it's the future. No one can deny it. So I want to learn a skill for future. I want to make myself more valuable. I want to learn techniques, technologies. I want to get myself certified. I want to open myself to opportunities. I want to discover new passion. There are so many things. New jobs are coming up. There are estimated 300,000 plus jobs, new jobs, which will come by the onset of artificial intelligence, big data, digital transformation. New jobs have come up. And you will meet inspiring people who will mentor you, who will lead you to your destination. So now my question, am I comfortable in my current state? What skill do I need to develop? It could be project management, it could be something else. It depends. Now, PMI, as I said, I am not couching for any of the project management organizations. Since PMI is predominantly existing in this part of the region, I chose it. So PMI talent talent triangle. It entails the ideal skill that a project manager should have for today's professional environment. Three kinds of skills: technical skill, leadership skill, and strategic management skill. Strategic management skill would entail your business acumen. Do you know business? Do you know basic management philosophies? Are you aware about management trends? Do you know what a vision is? Do you know what is strategic management? Now, technical project management means you need to know the skills of the trade. It could be PMP, it could be Prince 2, it could be IPMA, it could be green project management. So technical skill means that are you technically ready to take the challenge? Leadership skills is motivation. Can you guide teams? Do you have soft skills like communication, conflict management? Are you reliable in terms of distress? Are you a critical thinker? Now, based on, I have taken few surveys from Project Management Institute. You can see the survey. It says by 2027, employers will need 87.7 million individuals working in project management oriented roles. They could be subject matter experts, they could be, project managers, they could be project coordinators, documentation controllers, they could be project managers themselves, they could be program managers. And the talent gap is, if this talent gap is not taken care of, it would result in $207.9 billion in loss in the 11 analyzed countries which are in the map. And the source of this information, of this data, is Project Management Job Growth and Talent Gap Report for 2017. And again, project management job growth, if you see in leading sectors, from 2017 till 2027, in these 11 countries which were on the map, 9.7 million jobs will be there in manufacturing and construction, 5.5 million in publishing services, 4.6 million in finance and insurance, 1.7 in project management professional services, 279 in utilities, oil and gas, 49,000. And you can see the distribution of these 11 countries in terms of numbers. The orange bar is 2017, the green bar is 2027. If you see UAE, it's 93,861. India is 21.7 million. Saudi Arabia is 288,077. Now, how do I upskill myself? What are these certifications available? Right? As I said, predominantly it's project management professional, PMP. In North America and in Middle East, it is a dominant project management certification. Then you have IPMA. It's a European project management methodology. They have different levels of trainings from director, mentor, and project manager skill levels. Then you have Prince 2, which is from Excelos, foundation and practitioner. You have CompTI, it is only for IT, then green project management for sustainability, and agile. Agile is not a methodology, it's a mindset. You have different flavors of agile. You have Scrum, you have ACP, you have Lean. There's so many different types of agile project management certificates. And all these names that I have mentioned, they are registered trademarks of their respective organizations. Now, I will now consolidate my narration into 4 points. Now, organizations need undertake projects to achieve their business goals. That's why they exist. Organizations need skilled project managers to manage change. Project management is one of the most sought after professions, and certified project managers will always be in demand. Now we have polling questions. I did not want to interject and raise a poll question to derail you. I don't know how many of us in this session are project managers working in project environment, how many are new to this discipline, how many want to be project managers, they want to ask questions, what do I need to do to become a project manager. I'll request Humera to raise the poll questions one after the other. We have 8 questions. Please respond. These are closed-ended questions. Please respond, and then we'll see. We will capture the data, and we will have a follow-up session. If we see people who are here, our friends, attendees, they want further information. They want to know how do they get certified. They want to know what does it take for certification in terms of what is the prerequisite, what is the commercial involved, what is the fees, how long does it take, what kind of support we can provide. So all of this can be in the follow-up session, or in the same session you can raise in the Q&A session, you can ask me. But I request now Humera to raise the poll. These are very short, 8 questions. Please
Sure.
provide your
So I'm raising question number 1. Please, guys, you need to answer the questions very quickly. So the question is it important for you to know why your organization is existing? Kindly choose your answer. Very nice. I can see that people are voting. So I will be raising poll question 1 after another. For every question, we will give 1 minute for you to answer. And then after every poll question, I'll show the polling results. %, people, you to kindly attend this question. All right, so I'm ending this poll and sharing the results. So if, as you can see that for this question, is it important for you to know why your organization is existing? 99% people have voted for yes, and just 1% has voted for no. So I will raise another question. Yeah. So in this question, you can see, do you believe that project management is one of the most sought after professions? Kindly vote. Again, this poll question will be open for 1 minute for you to answer. Wonderful. I'm so happy and I'm so glad to see very responsive audience. Perfect. So until now, I see that 77% have voted. I'm expecting more votes. Hurry up, friends. Wonderful. 10 more seconds for this poll question. Do you believe that project management is one of the most sought after professions? All right, so I'm ending this poll and sharing you the results. As you can see on your screens, for this, 91% people have voted for yes, and just 9% have voted for no. So I'll stop sharing the result for this and relaunch the third question. As you can see on your screen, the third question is, do you feel the need to upskill yourselves? Wonderful. Lovely audience. Thank you. Yes. So I see that major answer is in yes. I'm expecting more people to participate in this poll. The question is, do you feel the need to upskill yourselves? Okay, so I'm ending this poll right away and sharing you the results. For this question, do you feel the need to upskill yourselves? The answer is the 98% people have voted for yes, and just 2% people have voted for no. Again, I'm launching a poll. This is the fourth question. And the question is, do you hold any project management certification? Yes, friends. Kindly vote. Wonderful. Mhm. Hurry up, friends. Yes. So as the trend, I see that around 90% people have voted for no, and just 11% people are for yes. So the question was, do you hold any project management certification? And poll results are 11% yes, 89% no. Quickly, moving on to the fifth question. All right, friends, quickly. The fifth question for you is, do you want to achieve a project management certification? Let us know your answers. Wonderful, wonderful. Very quick, very responsive audience we have. So as I see that for this poll, do you want to achieve a project management certifications? 89% people have voted for yes, and 11% people say no. All right, so the next question on your screen is, what is the time frame you have set for yourself to achieve a project next management certification? Kindly choose your question, your answers. The options are immediately within 6 months, less than a year, within 1 or 2 years, more than 2 years, not interested. So you may vote according to your interests. Wonderful, friends. What is the time frame you have set for yourself to achieve a project next management certification? 10 more seconds to go for this poll. Then we'll end this and we'll show the result. So Bobby sir, as you can see the trend, and in this question, you can see that 34%, around 34% people have said immediate within 6 months. These people are interested. Yeah, very interesting results. So I'll just share this whole result with all of you. What is the time frame you have set for yourself to achieve a project next management certification? 34% have voted immediately, let's say within 6 months. 43% have voted less than a year. 12% says within 1 or 2 years. Just 3% are saying more than 2 years, and 9% they are not interested. So the next question on your screen is, do you feel project management is not your cup of tea? If given proper guidance and mentoring, will you plan for achieving a project management certification? Come on, friends, let's vote. Yes, wonderful. So this is very important question. I'll just keep this question on your screen for 1 more minute so that maximum people can attend this poll question. All right. So, do you feel project management is not your cup of tea? If given proper guidance and mentoring, will you plan for achieving a project management certification? Kindly vote yes or no. Wonderful, wonderful audience. So I'm ending the poll in 10 seconds and we'll share the result. All right, sharing the result with you all. Do you feel project management is not your cup of tea? If given proper guidance and mentoring, will you plan for achieving a project management certifications? 82% people voted for yes, 18% of people voted for no. And now the last question for this poll is on your screen right away. The question is, if given proper guidance and mentoring, will you plan for achieving a project management certification?
Humera, this seventh and eighth question has, seventh question had both 8 and 7 questions combined. So there was no split. It's okay. You can
All
continue.
right. Yeah,
Sorry, gentlemen, there was a typo. Not a typo. It was some misjudgment. The previous question was, do you feel that project
it combined. Yes.
management is not a cup of tea? And this is, if given guidance, will you go for, do you want to have project management certification with proper mentoring, proper guidance, proper hand holding to ensure that you get certified?
Yes. 10 more seconds for this question to be on your screen. Then we will end the poll. All right. So sharing the result for this question. 97% people says yes and 3% people say no. So these were our poll questions and their results respectively, which I have shared on your screens. Now we are done with the poll. Over to you, Mubin sir.
Okay. Uh, Thank you, friends, for a very effective small journey. It was very meaningful because the results of any engagement are always indicative of the kind of engagement it was. I'm very happy that I could translate my thoughts in a most articulated way so that you understand what this session was all about, and you could understand that how important it is to upskill yourself to meet the current and future challenges at workplace. So thank you for that, and this all results are quite promising. Now, Humera, if you can open Q&A session, we will take questions one by one.
Definitely, sir. So thank you very much, Mubin sir. It was our pleasure to have you on board with us for our session today. And now I'll move ahead for the Q&A round. So my first question is by Muzammil Sayyid. He's asking, is Prince 2 better or equivalent to PMP?
Okay, a very good question. Frequently asked question in such forums, Muzammil Saab. Now, as I said, this is not a project management training, and I am not scouting for any project management house or project management discipline or methodology. But having said that, it's an important question. I'll answer you. There are guides, frameworks, methodologies around PMBOK, which is the project management body of knowledge. It's a guide It's a framework that project managers use depending upon what they want to pick and choose from that guide for their workplace. You can tailor it, customize it. You need not follow the book in principle. Prince 2 has its own um, type of approach, how to manage projects, how to deal projects. Both are wonderful um, guides. Both are wonderful approaches for a project management manager to follow. Now it depends upon, usually individuals lean towards the market trend. If you go to UK, you go to Europe, uh, Prince 2 is more predominant. If you go to Middle East, North America, it's PMP. So there's nothing like, you cannot compare apples to oranges. So both are beneficial uh, mm, in terms of consuming any kind of apple. And also for project management, it could be either Prince 2 or, for that matter of fact, IPMA or green project management or PMP. All are, they are all wonderful good practices. Depends upon how you see them, what do you want to do, in which part of the world you are, what does the market demand. There are people who are PMP and Prince 2 certified. I'm a PMP, I'm also Prince 2 practitioner. So as and when I require good elements from either of them, I pick them and I use them. So they, nothing super, one does not supersede the other, so they're both equal. Hope I
All
answered
right.
your question.
Yes. So the next question is from Mr. Atif Zaidi. Sir, while starting a small or medium scale business, is it necessary to have a professionally created project report, or a simple point wise project report would work?
See, Mr. Zadi, it is very important. If it's your own enterprise, small business, or you're working in a large, if you're working in a large organization, you are mandated to follow a disciplined approach. They have their own project management good practices which you follow. While as in small businesses, small and medium businesses, or if it's your own business, you definitely would like structure. You definitely would like results that you can track. You definitely would like to see where am I, where I'm going. You definitely would like to see the metrics. Yes, it is difficult to, it's very important and very crucial to have good reports, but that good report will not fetch you anything if the data coming into that report is not structured. There has to be an alignment between the kind of plan that you make, and then you do those activities which are in the plan, and then you report on what you have done. So all of this has to be in sync. It's not only reporting, it's the entire value chain, start to end. You have to be a disciplined in terms of project management. It doesn't, you don't need to be a project manager to manage your own business. It's very simple, structured, common sense. Sit with any good project manager. He will tell you one, two, three, four. Take few elements which are critical to your business, and then you are done.
Perfect. So the next question is, how can I start if a student plans on making his or her career in project management? How should we start about it? What certifications are important? This is being asked by a student studying at Jamia Millia Islamia University in New Delhi.
Okay, it's good to have students also here listening, because they are the future. They are the beacons, of future. Now, my dear, it's very important. I have no visibility into what kind of discipline you are in, what is your specialization, but you are in engineering, management, arts, any discipline. They have proper structure, and then every discipline teaches you management sciences, right? How to plan, how to coordinate, how to execute. Now, yes, you can learn project management. There are I can provide Humera with some good tutorials, very, very meaningful for students, so that they can develop the interest into project management. In terms of certification, it's too early. You need to have at least uh, 3 years experience to do CAPM, which is the first tier project management certification, or you need to have 5 years experience to go for the further certifications. Now that you learn on job, but for you as a student, if you have a passion for this project management, I can share with Humera some tutorials which are online, and you can start your journey today. And inshallah, it will reap benefits.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Fariduddin Mohammed. Is agile project management different than the conventional project management?
Mr. Farid, agile is a mindset. It's not a methodology. It's a mindset. It's a different thought process altogether. It is not different from existing project management, because the existing project management, which we call as waterfall or traditional management, uh, is there because we used to have, let's take a capital project, for example, a big construction project. You're making a roadway or a highway. So there your you have predictable results. You know what you want. You know a bridge, what its dimension will be. Your scope is very clear. Your risks are very minimal. Your deliverable is clear that I need a bridge connecting this part of the city to the other part of the city. You use waterfall kind of project management, the proper existing traditional project management. Now, if you are in a challenging environment like software or manufacturing, high-tech manufacturing, wherein the visibility for scope is very minimal at the beginning. You do not know how technology changes, how customer requirements, perceptions, needs change over a period of time. There you use agile project management, which means you truncate your scope into small pieces. We call them iterations or sprints. Then each sprint is taken as a small project, and then it goes to the customer, verifies, comes back, you do some iterations, and then you follow the next small iterations. Example, a website. If you're developing a website for a client, you will see how many times he will change the graphical user interface. I don't like this color. This button should not be there. Next time you go, he will have different perceptions because he has seen another website, his friends or competition website. So there you have the luxury to go back and fix it and come back. While as in practical terms, in capital projects, you cannot go back and say, no, I don't want the bridge from A to B, make it A to C. It's not possible. So agile is a mindset. It's not a methodology. Agile has different methodologies inside, like you have lean, you have scrum, you have extreme programming. Those are different methodologies, but agile is the umbrella, is the mindset. So there are instances where you use both traditional and agile approach. That's called a hybrid approach. You will have either a traditional approach, which is your current existing traditional project management called waterfall. You'll have complete agile, which is software, high-tech manufacturing. You'll have hybrid. Some part of project is agile. For example, design or testing and commissioning is agile. Then implementation is waterfall. So it depends upon the kind of environment you are in, the kind of project you are in, the mandate for the project, and the kind of environment you are in. It's ultimately your call as a project manager, because you have to see the emerging trends when you're planning your project. You have to see what are the trends, emerging trends in the market, in technology, in your industry, and then you have to tailor your project management approach based on those trends. You could pick some elements from agile, some elements from waterfall. Having said that, you should have enough expertise, you should have enough knowledge, you should have enough oversight, and you don't do it alone. You sit with the team, you collaborate, and decide whether I go for 100% traditional, 100% agile, or I go for hybrid.
Perfect. So this is with. So the next question is from Miss Neha. Can we obtain our project management certificate online? If yes, then which is the genuine website or institutions we can opt for project management certification? Kindly guide.
Neha, yes, you can. You uh, in COVID, PMI, which is Project Management Institute, they have provided an online exam facility for students to write from home. So you can write from home, and for that you need to first prepare for the exam. You need to know exactly what it entails, what does it contain. So you can just provide your details to Homera, and then I can have a one-to-one session with you in terms of what is required, what are the prerequisites, how you can achieve that.
Perfect. So the next question is from Mr. Faisal Majid. Assalamu alaikum. Please let me know the role of project management in auditing profession in UAE and Europe.
In auditing profession
Yes.
and
In UAE, Dubai, and Europe, United Arab
okay,
Emirates.
okay. My dear friend, see, project management is a discipline which gives your work a structure. Any kind of engagement that you take, which has a start and end, where you have a deadline, and you are supposed to create a unique product, a service, or a result. Say, for example, accounting results. You need to publish accounting results. You do accounting for some firm. Like, first, you need to understand the firm, what the firm is all about. And then you need to understand your capacity as a project manager. Do you have the skill set to cater to the requirements of this firm? Then you sit down, you do pre-project work, you plan with them, understand, and then you give them enough comfort to understand, yes, you are the right guy. Then you start planning your work. You create a roadmap. You tell them, this is how I do it. This is the kind of resources I would need. This is the time I would need. And this is the cost. So all you define scope, what you will do and what you will not do, which is very important. You should upfront know what you will not do so that you are not dragged into things which are not in your scope. And then you will tell them, this is how much it will cost you, and then this is the time I will take to accomplish this work. You might be alone, you might have a team. Based on that, you'll create a structure, and then you will have meetings with your client. In terms of, when you create a roadmap, you show what on first week or second week, when you meet the customer, how do you show progress, how do you monitor that progress, and how do you have their sign-offs. And before that, you need to create a document which is called as project charter, which is which enables you to understand the requirements from the customer. And also, very importantly, you should have the acceptance criteria jotted down. You tell the customer, what is your definition of done? When will you say that I have accomplished my work? Then you sit down and list some criteria and have customer sign on that. So once you have the acceptance criteria signed off, because you are not creating a product or service, you're creating a result, right? Now you need to be very careful about what is the project acceptance criteria, and that will drive your metrics, your measurements, your monitoring of your work. And then you can divide that into phases. Phase one, you'll do one part of work. This is the acceptance criteria, customer please sign off. Then you raise your invoices, and then you'll do it in the subsequent phases in a similar manner and close your engagement. If you do not take this kind of approach, then what happens? You will have unknown risks. You will have risks which are known unknown. You know there are certain risks which will happen, but you don't know when and in what magnitude, in what capacity. If you don't plan it upfront, you are going for a toss. You will have risks which are unknown. You don't know what will happen in the future, and with this client, and will this client remain in the business or they'll close shop. And then that will determine your payment structure with them, what kind of contract you have with them, how much as advanced, and or how do you um, build them in terms of milestones. So all of this comes through a structure, comes through planning. So you need to be very good at planning. This is very difficult as compared to a product or service, because those are tangibles. Here in your practice, it's a result, and there are so many intangibles. So you need to be very careful. Of course, you have expertise.
Right.
You will know how to deal with this and how to make sure customer understands, and they give you acceptance criteria and sign-offs on the project.
Wonderful. So, Mubin sir, we will proceed with a few more questions. As we have limited time, I would request you to kindly answer them in a very brief manner so that we are able to take maximum
Okay,
questions.
we'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah. So the more brief and the point the answer is, we will
Yeah,
be able
we'll do
to answer maximum
that.
questions.
Okay.
So the next question is from Mr. Maruf Iqbal. Myself, Maruf Iqbal from Kuwait. As a HR professional, I would like to know the key responsibilities aligned with peak project management, and what is your view of project management scope in Gulf while nationalization is on peak?
Okay. Human resource is because project management requires resources to accomplish the job. That resource could be uh, man, material, machine, or cash. And man is a very important, human resource personnel are very important in project management. So project management has a very early on interface with HR in terms of they need to uh, identify the resources, they acquire the resources through HR, then they have to develop a team, then they have to manage a team, and they have to control the team to accomplish the project objectives. The team would either stay back in the organization or they are disbanded if they are contractual on contractual assignments. Project is done, team is gone. So this is the human resource part of project management, and it's very critical.
All right. So the next question is from Mohammed Nazim. Is it necessary to take CAPM certification before PMP certification? Kindly guide.
Um, it depends upon your experience, my dear brother. Now, if you are fulfilling number of years for PMP, then I would suggest, and if you're experienced enough, I would suggest go for PMP because ultimately you have to do PMP even if you do CAMP. So CAPM. So you depends upon your if you are meeting the prerequisites. You go to PMI website. There are clear prerequisites in terms of experience and number of hours. So if you are meeting those requirements, I would suggest you go for PMP.
Wonderful. So the next question is, what is recommended certification for a beginner to start with project management? If the person is a beginner, then what is the recommended certification? Farhani Naqvi has asked this.
Okay, if you're a beginner, I would suggest you learn the discipline of project management. No need to get hurried up, because you would not get the certificate because you need to have number of hours of experience, minimum 3 and 3 plus. Then it's better you start learning the discipline of project management. You're a beginner. Maybe you might end up uh, going into a different work stream altogether. So you have yourself with multiple alternatives available. Let project management be one of them, and see what exactly meets your requirement now and in future. So don't haste in identifying what you want to do. Check with your friends, your seniors, your teachers. There's enough information on the website, so you can take a decision. If you want some help, Humara can give you my details, my email address, and then we can correspond. I can tell you what to do.
Yes. So the next question is from Mr. Asif Mohammed. What is the preferred project management certification in aerospace industry and automotive industry? And and would be interested to know, if I want to see myself in Middle East in project management, what certification would you recommend for me?
Okay, my dear friend, as project management is industry agnostic, it's technology agnostic. You don't need to be a subject matter expert in aviation, in construction, to be a project manager. Yes, you need to know the trade nuances because you have to communicate with your team who have good wealth of experience on that subject matter. Now, having said that, in North America, in Middle East, it's PMP, which is predominantly, um, which weighs predominantly more than Prince 2. So I would suggest you go for PMP because now PMP 2021 is a different approach. They have changed their guide, their approach, and it caters to all the kind of business landscapes for the future. And I would suggest you go for PMP, irrespective of the kind of industry you are in. It will take you, say, a couple of months or 3 months to understand the nuances of that industry, and then you learn on job. You're not supposed to be a subject matter expert. You will have people to help you on project.
All right. So the next question is from Abdur Rahim. If SME company is existing for 3 to 5 years and would to explore growth for next 3 to 5 years, what kind of project management structure would it follow to have continued organic growth?
It's this is more of a strategic question than project management question. Now, you need to know in which market, uh, which is the canvas you're painting, you're yielding your brush on. What is your market, and who is your competition, and what is your position in that market? Are you a challenger? Are you a beginner? Are you a leader? Then, based on that, you develop strategies for growth. And project management will only help you to reach there once you define what you want to do. You need to first formulate a strategy, and project management will help you in executing the strategy. It will also help you in doing the analysis in terms of analyzing the external market environment, internal environment. It will help you, but then you, from a strategic perspective, need to know what you want to do, what's your vision, and then project management will help you reach there.
All right. So the next question is, there are multiple questions. Dr. Qazi Mughizuddin is asking at which level of organization you will put a manager. You described three levels. Is it necessary to be a certified project manager to pursue a successful career in project management? What traits would do?
Okay. Um, Project managers usually operate in the operational layer, and then in the tactical layer, you have program managers who handle multiple projects. They rise from ranks. They are project managers, then they rise from ranks. They rise within the ranks to become program managers. Now, in order to become a project manager, you need to be certified because that gives credence to your skills, and that gives credence to your skill set because and the kind of technical knowledge you have from a project management perspective. Because there are no because at the very initial stages, if you're going for an interview or you're scouting for a job, it's very difficult for companies to analyze you in terms of your skill sets. Do you have the required skill sets? Yes or no. Basic filtration helps in if you are certified. Now, project management certification like PMP is no longer a luxury. It is the need. You need to have it, irrespective of the kind of job you're doing, it project manager or no project manager. If you have a PMP and you're working in operations, you definitely will have a different mindset altogether. Your approach will be totally different. You will see how I align my work towards the company's goals and what is required from me. So, irrespective of where you are situated in the hierarchy of the organization, you need to be certified. You need to show a badge to your organization, and that also gives you self confidence to talk, to put forth your uh, insights, so to put forth your ideas, because you are certified. You have gained it through hard work. You know the tricks of trade.
True. So thank you. There's this question from Abdul Qadir Khan. Assalamu alaikum. Could you please help me understanding project management in NGO sector?
Now, Mr. Kadir, as we said, one of the type of organizations is not-for-profit organizations, which are NGOs, clubs, or charities. Yes, you any work that you do which has a time span, which is defined by a time span, which has a start and a beginning, and you want to do something, you want to create a change in people's lives. You are an NGO. For example, you are helping the earthquake-ridden population or a tsunami ridden population or any of the natural calamities. You cannot do it without proper structure, without proper planning. There are multiples of things, multiples of interfaces you will have to grapple with. You have to grapple with the organization, your environment, legal, regulatory, your own team, your other partners who are working with you. Yes, project management is really helping organizations worldwide. There are WHO organizations, UNESCO organizations, their subsidiaries who are key contributors to Project Management Institute because they leverage a lot from project management to have their NGO initiatives taken care of and make sure that results are provided within the speculated time. So if you have time limitations, you have budget limitations, and you know the piece of work you're doing, yes, of course, project management is the key.
Truly. So the next question is from Ms. Nusrat Sheikh. She says, thank you, sir, for an quite engaging and informative session. I'm a research scientist with specialized scientific and technical skills. I understand managerial skills is a must in any sector. Can you please recommend some good program related to my field?
Okay, if you're
Good
into
program as in some
research,
certifications.
if you're into research, um, you need to go through the PMI website and understand what exactly do they provide. And I'm not sure what kind of engagements you have. Are you into pure research, or are you into publications, or you are a part of research team, you lead a research team? So as I said, project management project is any endeavor which has a start and end date and which is undertaken to create a unique product, service, or a result. If you're doing publications and if you have multiple people working with your multiple scientific organizations, government, regulatory, then you need to know the nuances of where project management can help you, not necessarily become a project manager, depending upon the kind of organization you have. Yes, of course, if you want to grow in your personal life, and if you want to see yourself elevated from a competence perspective, I would recommend you do PMP.
Sure. So the next question is from Muhammad Faraz. He's asked multiple times. So I'm bound to take his question now. Can you please tell me what is a Scrum Master certification? How is different from PM certification you have mentioned?
Okay. Uh, I said we have traditional project management, which is called waterfall. Then we have agile project management, which is a mindset, which defines your mindset from a different perspective. Scrum is a methodology. Agile methodology is part of it falls under the agile umbrella. It's a methodology. Scrum Master is a role in project development when you in a software development house, software or high-tech manufacturing house. A Scrum Master is different from a traditional project manager because he is more of a facilitator than a controller in traditional perspective. In traditional environment, project management manager is the boss. He is accountable for failure and success. In Scrum Master is more of a facilitator, helps the team to avoid bottlenecks, helps to facilitate whatever they need. So the project team itself manages everything from a project perspective: budget, scope, cost, with client who is called a product owner. So if you are in software and or in high tech manufacturing, yes, agile makes more sense. So you can go for Scrum Master certification.
Wonderful. So the next question is from Abdul Farhan Beg. How much time does it take to prepare well and achieve a PMP certification if in case I want to do that?
Okay, see, it depends upon if you are meeting the requirements from number of, if you have 4,500 hours of work experience in the last 8 years, which is around 3 years, 3 man years experience, and you have a graduation degree, then you qualify to sit for a PMP examination. So it takes around 5 weekends, which is 5 Fridays, full day, which is 9 to 6 training, because when you file your application in PMI, there are two prerequisites you need to showcase. One is your experience, and second is your 35 contact hours of experience from a trainer. So the trainer will provide you a certificate, and then you showcase that in your application along with your experience. And within 5 days, your application gets accepted, and then you can schedule your exam. Having said that, you need to be trained for these 35 or 40 hours. It takes around 5 Fridays or 5 weekends, and within the week you will have interactions with the trainer. I train on PMP. I use 5 Fridays, and I make sure that the students are geared and ready to pass the exam. There are different elements of preparation that I can take offline with you and tell you how this is done and how this is achieved.
Perfect. So the next question is from Murshid Khan. How is Lean, Six Sigma, Green Belt, and Black Belt different than PMP?
Okay, these Six Sigma, Green and Black Belt, they're more from a quality domain perspective. Project management, one of the knowledge areas of project management is quality management. You have other knowledge areas like scope management, schedule management, resource management, contracts management, and one of those domains is quality management. So we use Six Sigma tools in quality management to understand what are the quality elements that are built that we have to build in the project right from beginning, and then we acquire those tools, we gear the team, and then we control the quality while we are monitoring and controlling the project work. So this is how Six Sigma helps in project management. Now if you are if your perspective is only Six Sigma, Green Belt, Black Belt, yes, that helps in your manufacturing, in organizations which are who have a strong lineage towards quality. It's a very good certification. It is you cannot compare it with PMP because these are two different ball games. And as I said, project management has a quality subset, while as Six Sigma is more into quality, looking into more deviations and how to correct the how to correct the say snags, or how to make sure that you fix the defects. And then you have, yeah, Green Six Sigma and Black Six Sigma. These are two different levels of Six Sigma certification. Black is the topmost, and there are organizations who provide you specific training and certification help on Six Sigma.
All right. So I see that the around 45 questions that are left unanswered. I'll just take one or two more questions because we are pressing on time. And for all the unanswered questions, I would request all of you to kindly bear with us because due to time constraint, we are unable to answer all the questions. I will collate on the questions that are left unanswered and will email the answers to you back in a couple of days as and when I get answers from Mubin sir on those questions.
Sure.
So I'll just take two more questions and then we'll wrap up the session. So the next question is Sayyid Mohammed Asghar Rizvi is asking, artificial intelligence AI would create more unemployment and would be easy to manage any problems or projects?
Artificial intelligence, see, it's there are two facets of the same coin. Yes, the kind of routine jobs which have been there for years will be offset by introduction of artificial intelligence. For example, you have now bots answering you on the IVRs. If you call a utility company or a telecom company, or if you want to query something on any organization's website, there are bots. These are nothing but artificial intelligence instances who answer you. And artificial intelligence is will create more jobs. The landscape is changing. It will create more jobs than it will than the number of jobs it will replace. So that's why I said upskilling is very important. Someone who is in a comfort zone, he still wants to be like an elephant tied to that small rope and wishes for miracles in future. He will have difficulty. So you need to understand how AI is impacting your workplace. Learn it. See, there's an if you. I will also send this, Umar. I will send it to you. There's an a university certification from University of Helsinki. It's called elementsofai.com. It's a wonderful certificate for beginners, and it's free of cost. It is the best available free of cost. You don't have to go to Coursera, or you don't have to go to any of these portals and then pay through your nose. So Elements of AI is a wonderful certificate. Just it's 6 week certificate, and it has a quite rigor in terms of getting you certificate. It's not easy to get this certificate. You learn all the tricks of AI. I would suggest go through that in whatever capacity you are working now, whatever experience you have, just to tackle future. You need to have, you need to upskill yourself. Who knows? We don't know what is unraveling from a technological perspective tomorrow. What we know today is big data, AI. Of course, we cannot sit on our laurels, whatever they may be. We need to upskill if we want to sustain and be available in the future.
Yes, sir. So the last question for today's session would be from Tariq Nafis. He's asking what are the most important features to be taken care of for an educational institution marketing expansion project?
Marketing, what kind of projects?
Expansion.
Expansion projects.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're an educational organization. If I'm not wrong, you're a
Yeah.
university or a school. You want to enter into different markets, into new zones. For that, again, it is more strategic question than a project management question. You need to know who is your target market, and who you are catering to. Are you catering to a particular ethnic set of people, or you can cater to multi-ethnic? What is your curriculum? Is it IB or is it something else? First, you need to define what you want to do. Then, what are the markets available for you, and what are the alternatives available for you, and define that market. And then you have to define basic things like, do you want to compete on cost or on quality? If you want to compete on cost, then you need to have volumes, right? You need to have lots of branches around. If you want to provide a premium service, premium education, then you need to gear up your quality so that you can demand a premium. That's why we pay more for an iPhone. For any
So
other
I
phone,
cannot hear you, sir.
phone demands a premium. It's more of a strategic question than a project management
I
question.
lost your voice.
Hello,
Uh,
is it okay now?
Not an issue. Yes. So we are done with the Q&A round today. I'll just uh, I'll just make an announcement to all our attendees. I'm really thankful. I'm very glad that you all have joined in for today's session, and you were very interactive, very active, mashallah. And I got so many questions from you guys. There were around 80 plus questions that were raised in our Q&A session. But as you all understand that we have limited time for this session, so there remains a lot of questions that were left unanswered. Do not do not be disheartened. We will be answering your questions via email. So I will just collate all the unanswered questions and I'll email to Mubin sir. He will take out few days time and then he will answer them back, and I will email your answers to your questions in a couple of days. So I hope this part is clear for you. So now I would request Mubin sir to kindly conclude the session in about 2-3 minutes. Just that, if in case you have any, anything to say to our audience, you have any advice to give to our wonderful audience, so you can speak about few more minutes so that I can proceed with the closing of the session.
Thank you, Humera. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies, for nice, small, meaningful journey. It was quite impressive with the kind of questions we received and quite of the response for the polling questions we received. So I'm glad that I have been able to articulate my intent to you in terms of the need of the hour to upskill ourselves. I also need to upskill myself because everyone should, ideally. So I would strongly suggest you mull over this question about what you want to do, how you want to upskill yourself. As I showed you the data, you'll get the recording of this session also. You see the tremendous amount of growth in project management world over. Like, be it Prince 2 project PMP, or you go to software development, high tech industries, agile. So project managers are needed because companies are changing. There's a lot of disruption from technology, from customer insights. Customer demands are changing. Technology is really playing a vital role. There are complex mega cities, smart cities coming around, lots of initiatives by every government. Every government across the world announces an initiative like uh, uh, a rail project, a health project. Let's take the example of existing pandemic, COVID. How do you think all these uh, scientific or pharmaceutical industries are doing in terms of COVID? It's pure share project management. They need to plan. Now, once the if it was not for project management, I will have a vaccine ready in my lab. I will go and um, address anyone, but that doesn't happen. You need a structure. You need to have some volunteers where you can test. Then you just need to see the efficacy of this. You need to see how effective it is first in animals, then in human beings, and how the regulatory authorities will take it. What kind of spending is required, which government can take it, what is the priority in terms of budget, spending, and all the logistical efforts for this small vaccine. It's not a big deal creating a vaccine in a lab. I'm not talking about COVID or any other ailment, but then it is very overwhelming to release it to the market because there are so many interfaces. So you need to have strong project management skills for that. You need to know, if I am developing a vaccine, which ailment is it addressing to? What is my landscape? What is the population? Do I have the budget? Do I have the infrastructure? And how do I do it? Because you have a time frame. You cannot just keep it open. Like now, you see this pandemic has created havoc. Now every government is keeping everything at stake. They want the vaccine. They want the vaccine because this is priority. Business have come to a halt. There is no value creation. There is no money rolling. Companies have got bankrupt. Why? Because they cannot sustain. And once the COVID, inshallah, very soon is over, you will see loads and loads of businesses, closing because they cannot sustain. They had no good project management successes, practices. So this was one of the risks which was unforeseen. Now this nobody can take care of, but there are risks which are prevalent always in the environment, and good project management practices. Using good project management practices, you can foresee, you can anticipate a risk and curtail it. Now, also, having said this kind of a risk which is unknown, everyone, every organization, be it non-profit for commercial use, they pour in money and they want this vaccine to come out and get it released. So it cannot happen without proper structure, without proper project management structure and discipline, tools and techniques. Now you can understand how important this is for the entire landscape. Also, as an individual, if you want to do business, you want to enter into a different market, you want to own your start your own business, you have your kids, you always plan for them, you keep money from them. There are different um, kinds of options available to save money. What is that? It's all planning, right? You want to benefit from it. You want to make sure that you elevate yourself, your kids have good education, good livelihood. It's all planning. This is what we do every day, but then you have to make sure that it has a proper structure, and project management is the only discipline that teaches you so. Mull over it, take your time and see how you can
All right.
enter into project
So
management and make successful career. Thank you so much.
thank you, sir. Thank you, Mubin sir, for such a insightful and enlightening session. It is our pleasure to have you on board with us in our session today as our expert speaker. Beside having a highly busy schedule, you took out your time to come here and enlightened our audience with the best of your knowledge and information that I'm sure it will be very helpful for them in the near future. Thank you very much for delivering such an interesting session on project management. I would like to thank all the participants who have logged in today with us. I have highly appreciate your joining in, and we are very glad to have you all on board with us in our sessions. I feel pleasure to host these sessions for you all. I wish you all are finding our sessions helpful and interesting. And by attending our sessions, I wish you all to have a better educational and professional careers ahead, inshallah. At AMP, we are committed to organize such web talk sessions that allow you all to connect, communicate, and learn from our highly experienced speakers, career coaches, and trainers. We will be uploading today's recorded session on our AMP YouTube channel in a day or two, inshallah. Stay tuned to us. Do not forget to connect to us on our social media handles, be it Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, so that you don't miss our regular updates on our ongoing and upcoming activities, webinars, and events. Also, take out a little of your time to send us your feedbacks. You can email us at info@ampusa.org. Your feedbacks are valuable to us. Well, if in case you wish to be a part of EMP and our community building and development work, you can simply log on to www.ampindia.org/join-EMP. In case you wish to connect to our expert speaker, Mr. Mubin, sir, you can write an email to me at info@ampusa.org. I repeat, info@ampusa.org, and I will directly connect you to Mubin, sir. All right, friends. I was your host today. I'm Humaira signing off from now. From here, stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. Keep coming to our sessions. It feels really good to host with such a wonderful audience. Take care. Goodbye for now. Allah Hafiz. Happy weekend.